Hello and welcome to another video. I just wanted to let you know real quick at the beginning of the video that I was decently sick for a portion of the video, and it shows. I did not realize how bad I sounded until I was editing, and so I'm inserting this clip at the beginning to just let you know it's kind of bad, and that's the reason why I was sick while recording. I still kind of am. I don't know if you can tell. I'll find out in a minute when I edit this. I don't know. Hopefully I sound fine. But just a heads up, I sound sick, low energy for a bit, but I get better throughout the video, and hopefully you can bear with me. I'll understand if you can't, but that's the thing. Enjoy the video. All right, we made it. We made it to 1.4.7. Right, that's what it is. Yes, that is in fact what it is. 1.4.7. We are going to be fighting the Wither. We are going to experiment with Wither skeletons. I don't know if you can even farm them, but we might try. There are a lot of other features to explore and have fun with, but before any of that is done, we need a lot of arrows. Not only are we going to be fighting the Wither, which is going to need arrows, but we're also going to be in the Nether a lot, which has ghasts and blazes, and now in this version, blazes spawn just in a fortress without a spawner. So we're going to have to deal with that. That's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to have a lot of arrows and a lot of bows. So I went exploring and I found this skeleton spawner, and we are going to make a farm out of it. I'm going to speed through most of this because I have now made 2 other mob spawners, and this is just basically a combination of both. We have the skeletons, they're flowing into the water, and then I'll have some water here and here to push them through this hole. They're going to end up here probably, where piston is going to extend and crush their heads for just enough time that I can one-shot them. That is the idea, and now I have to put it into practice. First thing is the piston. I brought it with me, didn't I? Yes, I did. Boom. We're done. Everything's done. Oh, okay. So, block. They're going to be here. Piston's going to push in. Oh, wait. I didn't consider. Piston's not going to be here because if they fall here, they're going to be on this level. Piston's just going to push them backwards. So, like I said, like I knew was going to be the plan all along, they are going to come here where they fall. Ooh, what's the best way of doing it? They're going to flow through here. This is going to be one gap. One gap. And then they're going to fall right here. So they're going to be right here. I'm going to be right here to harvest them. I have a little stairwell, so I'm going to need to move that around. This is their faces, so I'm going to have to be at their feet right here. Now that's what my little stairwell is going to be. And then we have the piston. It's here. Block. And now this block pushing in hits against this block, so it will suffocate them. It won't just push them backwards. And there's going to be a block here. But for now, make my life a little bit easier to work with, I will leave it. And now I have to figure out how to do redstone. This is going to be fun. Still been working on the skeleton farm, but I've just want to pop in and say I found my least favorite feature of 1.4 so far. These guys. Loud, annoying, can't even hit to kill. There you go. And you drop nothing. What's your point? Okay, it's complete. I'm 8 or 9 blocks under the skeleton spawner right here. This is my little AFK spot. And I come down right here. They all funnel in here. And it's far enough away from the spawner that they just keep going. And then I've timed this so that it kills them, or it hurts most of them. Most of them won't die. I also put a little spot that pushes a block up over there so that no more fall in while I'm killing these guys. I also like to have the volume up at this point so I can actually tell if I'm fully killing them. And they all become mostly one-shots. Some of them, on occasion, will not. But, yeah, so there's a... I'm safe to do this right now. That plank gets pushed up by this and taken away whenever that lever is pushed and pulled. And then, in that way, I can kill all the other guys without new ones falling down and making a mess of who has no stealth and all that. And so that makes it done. Oh, I didn't know you can get armor from them. That's new. And that's phase 1 of this whole plan I have to fight the Wither. This is gonna get me a bunch of arrows. The next part is to AFK and get a lot of levels. I have 30 right now, so I may go enchant now and then come back and AFK or something. But I think I have enough diamonds for a full set of armor. And so I'm going to AFK, get a bunch of XP, and we'll be back to enchant that armor. That's phase 2, and phase 3 I'm not looking forward to. It's going into the nether, fighting, I think it's magma cubes, so I can get fire resistant potion. So that I can take on the fortress without blazes being a problem. And I'll also want to grow a bunch of melons and get some gold so I can get health potions. I think that's health potions. That's the plan. I'm going to AFK here for a while, and I'll be back. I went ahead and made the decision to enchant books instead of armor. It's that way I can get a bunch of different enchantments. I can curate what I want on each different piece of armor, and also potentially get some cool stuff for pickaxes and swords. So we're going with that. Projectile protection 4 is going to be great to have on our armor. So I'm going to go back to farm XP from the skeleton farm, but I thought I'd just let y'all know that we're doing books instead of armor. I think that's the best way to do it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way I'm doing it. Okay, so I have been farming. Oh, huge lag. So I've been farming the skeletons, getting a bunch of XP. I have some books. Let's see. I think I have 2 projectile protection. Yeah. So 2 projectile protection, Bane of Arthropods, and Fire Aspect. That could be interesting. But real quick, I am going to enchant a bow. And then I'm going to hopefully add power to it via an anvil. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, because there's a fair chance that I get power. It's what? I don't know what percentage, but there's only 3 possible enchants for bow, so pretty high chance this is power. Hopefully it's infinity. Power and punch, so I don't need to mess with any of these that I got from the skeleton farm. And with this bow, first I'm going to put the other bows back into the system where the skeleton farm is, but I'm going to go into the nether, and I'm going to farm a bunch of magma cubes so I can have fire resistant potion. And I'll do that off camera because I think that's gonna be pretty boring. Maybe I'll come back and do some of it on camera. Probably not though. I'll probably not do any of that on camera, but it is an essential part for everything going on. Fire resist is going to be important when I want to take on the fortress that's going to have a ton of blazes on it. And I don't have a way I know of farming wither skeletons, so I'm just going to have to be wandering around the fortress and hoping for the best. Which means I'm going to hit a lot of blazes, which means I want to fire resist. So that's the plan. I went down a little too far. That's what I get for talking while I'm working. But this way, brain. Yeah, come on, come on. Here. I guess while I'm here, this is a bunch of the loot that I've gotten. I got some cool armor and a bunch of. I think all of these are power. All of these bows are some form of power. But now that I have power 4, I don't need them. And that's cool. Over here, I had initially set up the spawner here until I realized that it would cap at 6 skeletons because it's so close to the spawner, so I pushed it down. But that being said, this is where all the storage is for the moment. And I will want a bunch of arrows because I'm still gonna see some ghasts while I'm in the nether. But yeah, I'm going to nether. I'll be back. Okay, I think we're gonna end the episode here. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure it's a pretty short episode, but that's kind of the nature of some episodes. A lot of stuff goes into the background, and you don't really see it all the work. I've thought about showing the process of making the skeleton farm on camera, but it felt like that was repetitive and kind of padding for time, and I didn't want to do that and that kind of thing. So that's just what happens. But before I do, I want to real quick experiment with the anvil, which I just looked up the recipe. Is this right? It is. And I still have some bones in my... Oh, sound is off. Oops. So, I want to see how this works real quick. I have the levels. To do this, we got fire protection. Okay. So the question is, do I want fire protection chest and then projectile protection leggings and projectile protection boots? I'm not sure. Can you combine books? I doubt this works. Okay, so we put one in there and we put the other in there? Ooh, okay, so the first one overrides the second one. That costs too much. Even though it's overriding, that's funny. Okay, so they can't be together, which I think I already knew. So let's go grab the diamond armor, or not the diamond armor, let's go grab the diamonds to make into armor, and then add it. I think what we want is to have the chest plate have the fire protection, and then everything else have the projectile protection. Actually, honestly, do we want fire protection at all? We kind of do for the nether, for being in the nether, but when we're fighting the wither, we want fire, not the other way. We want the fire protection for when we're in the nether gathering the skulls, but we want the projectile protection for when we're fighting the wither. So maybe I don't have enough, I don't have enough diamonds for the two sets of armor, so I can't put fire protection on one set of diamond and projectile protection on a different one for different situations. So maybe we'll put the fire protection on some iron. Let's see, that costs 6. That's how it works. But I'm out of XP because... Oh, hey, buddy. Is this a slime chunk? I didn't think this was a slime chunk. I guess it is. I wonder... Fire protection costs 5. Does it cost... Costs 5 either way. But I do think... Iron leggings with fire protection. Maybe the chest plate, actually, with fire protection. For while I'm gathering everything, I think that's the way to go. I might regret that. Oh, that's allowed. That's cool. I like this. I like the books. It's a very, very good feature. And also, I spent 2-3 hours in the nether trying to find magma so I can get magma cream. And then I came back here and realized that this is a recipe. And I am very upset. I spent so much time. But now that I know that, I can get a ton of magma cream very easily. I have a ton of slimes and I have a decent amount of blaze. So now that's sorted. So I'll continue XP farming, getting my armor up, and then now I know this is a thing, I will be brewing a bunch of potions. I also, while those 2 hours weren't a complete waste because I got some, I did get 4, and I got 4 tiers. I had 2 already. So not a complete waste. And we are one step closer to fighting. Take 2. We are one step closer to fighting the Wither. And so this is going to be interesting. I think next episode we're going to take a break from the prep. We're going to do something completely different. Maybe I'll venture into the Nether Fortress just to see what the skeletons are like. But maybe not. I don't know. I haven't decided. But either way, see you in the next episode. Bye bye.